Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Will with Schedulefly, and I'm stoked today to have Shane Fisher on the phone. Shane's in Raleigh, and he is the general manager of the brewing and pizza location for Trophy Brewing. It's their original location. If you listen to this podcast, you'd have already heard the episode with Brian Genzer. And so Shane is a colleague of his in the same organization. Incredible organization, doing just amazing work in Raleigh. Wonderful reputation, and Shane, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this, man.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on, Will. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So I always ask everybody to just tell me how and when did you get started in the hospitality business?
Yeah, for me, hospitality, kind of stumbled into it. I was going to school at East Carolina here, and just east of Raleigh and in Greenville, North Carolina, and I was also in the Air Force Reserves at the time, and kind of just bouncing around trying to figure out what I wanted to do and what I was into. And I was studying business at the time, and my advisor kind of suggested, like, hey, you might be interested in hospitality management if you want to check out the curriculum and like what it entails. And so I kind of tried that out in school, and I was actually, my concentration for my first semester was in lodging. I kind of didn't think I didn't think the restaurant side of things was maybe for me initially, and then I actually took a job in Raleigh on weekends with actually it was a summer job initially at Bisbee Cafe, which was Chris and Woody's, the owners of Trophy's first business, and one of the best beer bars in the country at the time. And I just started working as an SA for them. And when I started working there and getting into craft beer and getting into the restaurant business in a way I never had before, just as a server assistant, I was like, wow, this is really kind of right up my alley, and this is the kind of place I want to work for. This is the kind of people I want to work with, and that's how it started for me. And the rest just kind of evolved over time as Chris and Woody opened Trophy Brewing, and I got to be more and more part of their projects, and that's how it started for me.
How long ago was that you started with them at Busy Bee?
Almost 7 years ago now.
Okay, is that now? Because is that where Tap and Table is?
Yes, yeah, that's
Okay.
so. About a year and a half ago, Busy Bee Cafe, it just made sense for Chris and Woody and Trophy to make that space a Trophy location and celebrate what they're most passionate about, and brewing beer and being another place that we can, share Trophy with people in Raleigh.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, man. So you're the GM there at a very popular location. You guys stay busy all the time. Tell me about that, man. What's happening there, and what are the things that just kind of what's a day like? A general. I know they vary all the time, but what are some of the main
Yeah.
responsibilities you have as the GM there?
Um, as far as day-to-day responsibilities, like you said, we are a pretty busy place, and we're really fortunate to have that, and know that most days we're gonna have a good crowd. And so as far as day-to-day responsibilities, we're making sure that we're providing best possible service to folks who are coming in and putting out great pizzas, and then educating people about the beers we have on tap. And we want to share as much as we can about craft beer and Trophy beer with people. And so my job is to oversee day-to-day operations, training, all kinds of stuff. Scheduling when you're talking about Schedulefly. So really, being the GM at Trophy Brewing and Pizza is sort of all encompassing. At least at my location, you do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you're near NC State, if I remember correctly. I've been there, and I but it's been a while. But that's near college, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, not too far. About a half mile from State's main campus on Hillsborough Street.
So do you get? I mean, you obviously get a lot of students. You probably get families that are visiting and things like that. Do you all have a good core base of long term regular customers as well that live nearby or frequent you all that where you're not affected by the ebbs and flows of the student body?
We do have a lot of regulars in our area, and that's another thing that we really love about the Brewing and Pizza location, is that it is sort of tucked in a little neighborhood just outside of the main part of downtown Raleigh, and then it is right there between State and downtown. And so we're really fortunate to have lots of regulars, and but also we do get lots of students, but it definitely is not, our business is definitely not driven by by the college or by the school schedule, that kind of thing. We are lucky to have a very broad range of guests that come in, and really, really, there's not one demographic that is dominating our business.
That's cool. That's good. Well, that's good. That's a good thing to have in an area like that. And though it's not surprising, because y'all make some. I mean, y'all make some damn good beer, and I know I've had the pizza there, and it was fantastic as well. So
we do our best.
You do well. You do a good job of it, man. So what do you like most about hospitality in general?
Tough to say, but I really like getting to interact with so many different people, and it's really a field where I feel like in many ways you get to interact with so many different people that you wouldn't normally, and I of the other things I tried before getting into hospitality, that wasn't exactly like that, and I really like just meeting so many different people and working with so many great people who are some of them are career service industry folks, and some people are on to all different kinds of things, and it's really great to interact and intersect with all those different lifestyles. So that's one of the main things I love about it. And then also more specifically in working for Trophies is the craft beer side is something that I really got into right from the beginning with Chris and Woody, like I said, at the Busy Bee, and that was something that drew me into our particular business for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, you guys, so you've got a really cool group, and y'all been growing, and I mean, are there a good number of people that you bring on your team that think that it's a short-term gig or something to do for a summer or a year or whatever, and then they wind up falling in love with it and being a part of the organization a long time? Does that happen often? I know that's probably what you're hoping for, but is that something that you see a lot?
We do see it. We do see a good bit of that. Like you kind of said, that is something we like to see. Especially if somebody falls in love with the business or falls in love with craft beer. We definitely love seeing that. And when we have had many employees come through that were just maybe working through college, that kind of thing, and then this maybe became a more permanent fit for them. We've had lots and lots of people go from being server assistants, servers, bartenders to management and do other things as well. We've had lots of servers who became full-time brewers and sales reps, things like that. And it's awesome to see see people starting with us, and like you said, it was kind of a temporary thing, I think, in many people's minds, and then it becomes something they really love doing, and that's awesome and a unique opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, if you're attracted to a family culture, which I know you all have, it becomes a really interesting thing where you got people that have your back. You're working hard. You're learning a lot of things. I mean, you're learning tons of skills that are transferable to so many things when you're working in a restaurant, just because of the pace, the chaos that can happen at times, the controlled chaos, but all that's going on and the ability to deal with like 50 things at once, and all the customers, and their needs and staff needs, and just, I mean, it really helps you learn how to manage many things at one time, which is a really good skill set.
I totally agree. Yeah, that is one of the most rewarding things as a manager, is to see an employee who started out with you and was maybe flustered by all those things and was really overwhelmed by all those things initially, and now they can handle it like it's nothing. And that's a great thing to see people develop like that.
Well, they build a lot of confidence when that happens, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. What about management style, man? Like, what's your sort of underlying management philosophy?
I guess I've never thought about it as I have a management philosophy. I try to lead by example, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you hear that kind of thing a lot. But I definitely try to lead by example. And I think if as a manager, you're not out there working hard and showing your staff how things should be done, it's going to be hard to expect that from them. So, I'm not a sit back and watch manager. I'll say that. I like to be on the floor. I like to be interacting with guests and helping employees through the shift. And I think that garners employees' respect, and the ones that you want and that you want to keep on, they're going to follow suit.
What's the hardest thing about hospitality business? Biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge. That's a good question. That's a hard question to answer because there are lots of things that can be difficult. Again, it can be very rewarding, but staffing can be tough depending, especially in a growing city like Raleigh where there's tons of people moving to the area all the time. There's also tons of restaurants popping up all the time, so it can be particularly hard to staff back of house staff during times of great growth. But there's lots of challenging things, and again, lots of rewarding things. It's really hard to pick a top one, but I guess that's the best example I can give is the staffing can be tough, especially in the situation we're in Raleigh right now.
Are you used to the hours after all these years, or
after all these years, I'm pretty used to the hours. I think I'd have a hard time going back to a normal schedule actually after all these years. But you do work a lot of long hours. Our weeks, our weeks usually range from 55, 65 hours a week, just depending. And that is a hard thing to adjust to. But after all these years, it's not too bad anymore.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys? What are some of the things you've been doing with? Some of the fun things y'all been doing with beer lately? I know y'all have a lot of good things going on. You make great beer, but just curious, anything new or exciting?
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff happening all the time, like you said, and that's something that Trophy really prides itself on is to be always changing, always putting out new beers. We don't have a lot of beers that are core beers for us. There's only really 2 beers that are brewed all year round. That's Trophy Wife, our session IPA, and then Cloud Surfer, which is a modern IPA kind of brewed in a Northeast IPA vein. But other than that, our beer selection is always changing. We brew off of a 3-barrel system, which was our original system at our Brewing and Pizza location, which is now over at our Maywood Avenue location. And then we also brew off of a 20-barrel system where we do a lot of bigger batches that are going to usually go into cans or go into bigger distribution, that kind of thing. But something that's been really exciting for us this year has been our New England IPA series. We've had 2 really fun New England IPA series out, and that's been really popular for us. And we've gotten to put out lots of different New England IPA cans, which has been great because it can get to people all over North Carolina, all over the Triangle, and they can try our beer. It's not just on tap places. And then again, we do always have tons of exciting stuff. Tons of exciting stuff coming out of our small batch system. We have a brand new head pub brewer named Alex, who's really excited and doing lots of cool new things. He's really excited about doing lots of beers on nitro, which I'm not, I'm sure you're familiar with beer on nitrogenated beer, like a Guinness would be on tap some places. That's something he's been interested in doing a lot lately, and really just bringing a lot of new creativity to the brew house system there.
There's so much creativity in beer. It's amazing, and it keeps. I'm fascinated by this. I don't see how y'all all sell enough beer. I mean, there's so darn many craft.
Oh yeah.
I mean, are people drinking more beer these days, or do you grow because I guess like you said, now you're able to distribute through cans, or help me out with that. I'm fascinated with that because you see it everywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you're right. There's so many breweries popping up all the time, which is awesome. We love that, and just being beer nerds ourselves at Trophy,
yeah.
we love seeing tons of new breweries and tons of different beer options available. And the industry really has changed so much, even since I started working for Chris and Woody 6-7 years ago. Craft beer was a brand new world to me, and it's just amazing how much it's evolved since then. Craft beer has certainly become more and more localized. People really want what's in their hometown, what's in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And want to be drinking that stuff. And really people even more so now, people want the newest thing all the time. And that's something that we've been really capitalize on with the New England IPA series, is that we're putting out a new New England IPA release every other week or every week, sometimes 2 a week, just depending on what's going on. And that's really what a lot of craft beer drinkers are looking for. They really want to see the new thing hitting the shelves, and they want to try it because people are just so excited about having lots of options in craft beer.
Well, it helps to be in a market like Raleigh if you're if people are looking for local product and you're in Raleigh, which is a growing area, then you've just got more and more people coming there all the time that could be customers that are looking for local. So,
it's great.
Yeah, and Raleigh does have it's got a great beer scene and a great food scene, and just, that whole area has done a really good job of I mean, you guys all kind of work together and promote each other, and
absolutely. That's definitely very much a community.
Yeah, for sure. It absolutely is, which is awesome, and good for business. Okay, so man, you've been at this for a little while. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm curious. One thing, I guess the two things I keep hearing, and you've touched on this a little bit, but I'm just curious your thoughts on this, because I keep hearing from folks in the restaurant business that two of the big things they're dealing with all the time are finding and keeping good people, being a big issue. And then the other thing I hear a lot of, it sounds like you all have done a wonderful job with this, but it's building relationships with more and more regulars, to have that large foundation for your business. I mean, the more regulars you have, the more you get them coming in, the better for the, sustainability and, long-term projections for the business. Are those things that you guys talk about a lot, or are there other things that you all are focused on? Or
absolutely. Again, like I touched on just a little bit earlier, we definitely think of ourselves in many ways as a neighborhood bar and restaurant, and we want to have as many relationships as possible with locals in Raleigh and people who come in all the time. We love that, and we want as much of that as possible. Right now, a big thing that we're focused on Morgan Street, which is where our brewing and pizza location is our expansion. We're actually expanding our Morgan Street location, and we're kind of taking over the rest of the building there, and we're excited to be able to serve that many more people, and hopefully
that's a huge
for that much more.
Yeah. How much are you going to expand your square footage?
Goodness, without it right in front of me, I can't say exact square footage, but we're almost tripling in size.
I was going to say, I mean, I know that building, that's a big expansion.
Yeah. So it'll be almost triple the space, and we're going to have more than double the kitchen space, and more than double our seating currently, which will be awesome. Again, be able to serve so many more folks in Raleigh, and again, hopefully continue to develop those relationships. And we're also really excited to be bringing a brewing component back to Trophy Brewing and Pizza, and we're going to be building a photo room onto the front of that building, and developing a bigger sour beer program, which we're really excited about.
That's cool. When are y'all opening the expansion?
We're hoping to be open in about a year, maybe a little bit more. Hoping to be open with all that in about a year. Just got to see how things play out in the meantime.
Gotcha. That's awesome, man. Well, congrats on that. Well, listen, Shane, I'll let you go. I appreciate your time, man, and just thanks for taking the time to do this and sharing what's going on. Y'all are doing awesome work there. Yeah, like I said, I mean, the reputation is tremendous in Raleigh, for good reason, man. You'll have a really good team of people. Everybody that come across there is just sharp and passionate and enjoys what they do clearly. So keep up what y'all are doing.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Will. I appreciate you having me again, and thanks for everything y'all do at Schedulefly. It's a big help in my day-to-day life. Absolutely.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Thanks for saying that. No, absolutely. We're stoked to serve y'all, man, for sure. Well, listen, I come to Raleigh every now and again, so I'll make sure to stop by next time I'm up that way.
Please do. Please come see me.
Absolutely, Shane. I will, man. Good to talk to you. Anytime you ever need anything, I'm around. I appreciate it. I'll let you roll, man, and we'll catch up soon.
All right, Will. Take care.
All right, see ya.